Okay, today we are playing a game on Gibraltar. We are playing Winston the entire way through, and the average SR of this game was 2,448. Not that you'd be able to tell it was that high based off our team composition, because it's currently Winston, Genji, Junkrat, Reaper, Widowmaker, and Hanzo. So it's definitely one for the history books. I don't think you have to stretch your imagination too far to figure out what we'd rather have as a team. So, this immediately ties in with our email, which says, sometimes the team just doesn't want to play a good composition. If the team wants to play 5 DPS, should you pick healer, tank, or DPS? You should pick healer. Because there's no point picking a tank if you don't have a healer, because the whole point of being a tank is that you take damage for people that can't take damage. If you don't have a healer, you can't really do that, because you're just gonna kinda get fucked up. At the bare minimum, you're gonna have to leave to get health kits so frequently that you're not gonna be very effective, which we kinda see in this game. You don't want to pick another DPS, because by the time your team has picked 5 DPS, the good DPS are probably gone anyway. And if your team doesn't have a healer at all, you are just gonna kinda get fucked, because your team just gets chipped down and killed for free, usually. If there's a lot of health kits on the map, sometimes that can be avoided, but you are usually just gonna get, like, chipped down and killed if you don't have a healer. So you should pick a healer. Who the best healer... Basically, also, the healer has to be Mercy or Ana, because Zenyatta is not enough healing, just flat out, and Lucio is gonna struggle to heal 5 people that are all probably gonna be fucked up at pretty much the same time. So, you have to pick a strong healer, so it's usually gonna be Mercy or Ana. It can work. You know, I have played games where I've gotten wrecked by a team that's 5 DPS and 1 healer, and I've played games where I've wrecked the other team as 5 DPS and 1 healer. It happens. It's just inconsistent. I see some people out there in the onlines where they're like, I've never won against a team that was 5 DPS and 1 healer. What's the deal? Well, first off, I think that they actually probably do. That's just the way humans are. Your negative experiences stand out so much more than the positive ones. So first off, I don't believe them. But the other thing is that I think why it works usually is because 5 DPS, 1 healer is the kind of thing that catches you off guard, because you're not expecting it. And if you're caught off guard by 5 DPS, sometimes you can just get killed, your whole team. And then, they look at the enemy team and they go, what the fuck, it's 5 DPS and 1 healer and we can't just kill them? What the fuck? And then they start tilting. And as we all know, the team that tilts first is the team that loses. So. But the moral of the story is, yeah, you should pick a healer, because the other 2 options are not super great. So let's start the game. We're defending on Gibraltar immediately. Things go a lot better than you might expect. As you might be able to tell from the timeline, this is a reasonably long game. Isn't that incredible? So Hanzo over there has killed Genji. That's incredibly depressing, honestly, that happened. But it happened.
Yeah.
So Reaper's probably feeling pretty good, because he can at least self-heal, you know, so maybe he won't get completely fucked up. We're playing Winston, so at least we can get over to health kits faster. But generally, things go pretty sad. So, we bullied that McCree to death. Pretty good right there. We're coming up to try and finish off this Winston, because he's low HP. Gets back to the Mercy. It's not gonna happen. Don't want to go for the Mercy, because that's right in front of their spawn, you know. So our snipers have actually killed a bunch of people, so that's great news. It's going a lot better than expected. Mercy's really low HP. We want her. She's dead now, because her only method of escape was kind of go back into us. So now we have to sit here and wait for this health kit, because we have no healer. So it went a lot better than expected, because, mostly because the enemy team is bad. In a variety of ways. First off, you might have noticed that basically they came at us 1 person from every direction. And we've got 5 DPS, so no matter which way that person went, they found a lot of danger. So like, McCree's up here on the high ground by himself, gets fucked. Winston's over here on the high ground by himself, gets fucked. Mercy, all her team are dead, so she kind of goes into the remaining 1, gets fucked. So it's just kind of like, really split up, staggered team fight, and we had 5 DPS and a tank. So, And they had a Roadhog as well. Let's not forget that they have a hero, they have somebody on their team who's basically not playing the video game right now. So, it went pretty well, honestly. Also, their Genji is bad and died to Hanzo immediately, so that also helps. It's always very depressing when a Genji dies to Hanzo or Widowmaker, honestly. So, we could have gone in more decisively here because we actually see that Roadhog is pretty low HP right now. Now, this is not generally advised course of action to go in because you can see Roadhog. But, like, Roadhog is low HP right now, and he's hooking someone. So he's not about to pull out his, paint can and start huffing on it. So we could have gone in more on the Roadhog there, since he was low and his attention was divided. Which is a very rare situation for Winston to be in, but... So now Roadhog's alive again, and that's pretty spooky, and even though he just shot us 4 times, we didn't die because Roadhog got super fucking nerfed. God, isn't it depressing that Winston just got shot 4 times by Roadhog? 2 of them were like point blank as well, and he didn't die. We're thinking about blowing our ult just to heal ourselves. Understandable. So now we have to wait for this health kit, but we're only half HP, so we're gonna have to go get another health kit. Fortunately, that team fight went pretty well for us, mostly because, again, they executed it very badly. The great equalizer is that the enemy team can always just be worse than your team, and we are largely seeing that. We don't win this game, I'll spoil the surprise right now. We still don't win, but we come depressingly close to winning. So, there's that. So Winston just died to Widowmaker, which is depressing for a multitude of reasons, as I'm sure you're aware. Junkrat just killed Sombra, which is not unsurprising, because I can't imagine someone in, like, high gold, low plat knows how to play Sombra correctly. So that's not surprising. We're getting a little bit over-eager right now, but most of the enemy team is currently dead, so, and we have Primal Rage, so it's not like we're about to get killed for it. We see this Pharah up in the air, really low HP with the Venom Mine on her. We try and finish her off. Don't quite finish her off, but Genji does. The Mine Tick might have actually just killed her as well. We get a little bit greedy trying to get to the health kit, and then we pop our ult too late and we get killed. Feels bad, man. I would just ult rather than go for the health kit. Like, as soon as I get shot in the back once right there, I'm just gonna ult to be safe. Bit just kind of greedy to get the health kit instead of using the ultimate. Holy shit, did you see that slam dunk on that Junkrat there? Let's go back and watch that one again. Oh shit, dog. Damn. Get fucked. Just slapped that mine right back into his face. You seen the special voice lines that they put in for D.Va and Genji deflecting ultimates? My favorite is Bastion Catch. Oh, it's just reminded me of it watching that. So, yeah, I would have ulted just to be safe, but I understand the desire to pick up the health kit instead of ulting. But we get punished for it. But again, the enemy team's really bad, so it's not like they got much ground off of it. So yeah, that's great news for us, frankly. So we're using Primal Rage now because we dropped really low HP. Enemy team is very difficult to actually get very much done with in Primal Rage because they're all very, very mobile, actually. So we ended up not really being able to bully anybody with it. We ended up basically just using it for the heal, which is honestly like 50% of the ultimate anyway, so, you know. They still have a Roadhog around here, you know. Whatever. He's there, he's playing Roadhog. Who gives a shit? So, team fight's happening, real split up. We're standing on the point basically just to contest it because we're the only one who, is ever going to, frankly. But we're playing Winston, we don't have a healer. Our team did not, in fact, win this team fight, so we did, in fact, just get killed because we were contesting the payload. Which is what you would expect to happen. We didn't really have a better option. Someone has to stand on the payload, and, like, looking at our team composition, who is the one that has to stand on the payload? It's us, so we have to stand on the payload, but we also have to acknowledge that we're probably gonna get killed. things would probably be going better if we were, well, I mean, we don't know. I think things would be going a lot better if we were playing a healer, because I don't feel like we've really done very much as Winston, and I just don't feel like we've had very much opportunity to, really, you know, because basically every team fight thus far that we've won, which has been the majority of them, to be fair, every one of them has basically been enemy team executes engage absolutely awful or loses member immediately upon engaging, and then they just get wrecked because they're engaging poorly into 5 DPS, so they just kind of get killed. So I just don't feel like we've ever been in a position where there's been that much for us to do, because everybody that we're good at killing died so quickly. We might do better as D.Va if we were going to stick with a tank, because, I mean, there's been a Pharah very recently, so D.Va is better against Pharah than Winston is. Not that much better, but still better than Winston. And, D.Va is also better against Roadhog, but at the same time, who cares? So, we might have done better as D.Va, but at the same time, I feel like we would have been better off as being a healer. Because, the way it seems to me that we're gonna win this game is, the enemy team continuing to be bad. It doesn't feel like we're, like, the fights are just over so quickly, right? Like, everybody, like, half the enemy team's already dead. We come in, we find the supports, we start bullying them around, and it's like they've got a Roadhog here to protect them, so it's like, what are they even gonna do, really? Then Reaper comes in and spins on them, so it's not even like we finish anybody off. We do sort of start, corralling the Mercy and Ana closer to the payload, and they end up getting killed by it. But at the same time, it's like, you know, did we even really need to be there? It doesn't really feel like it. There is this, concept with most competitive video games where, like, the theory goes that you're gonna win, like, 40% of your games through no fault of your own, you're gonna lose 40% of your games through no fault of your own, and then you're gonna be able to, actually impact the outcome of the remaining 20%. I've also heard 33%, 33%, 33%. Same thing. I think, you know, this game kinda shows that, where it's like, I really don't feel like we've had to do anything. There just doesn't feel like there's ever really been an opportunity for us to, because it's already come and gone. So we're going in on this Mercy right now, who is probably feeling real fucking sad. Now this Roadhog's just gonna get bullied to death by the entire team. He at least got Genji before he died, but damn, that must have felt pretty sad for Roadhog. So we've got Primal Rage, that's pretty cool. That's like a full HP heal right there, which is the most appealing part of it right now. Especially since it's still not really that good for, like, killing anybody on the enemy team. Trying to bully around this Pharah, kind of lost track of her. We did probably have an opportunity to kill the Pharah right there, if we didn't lose track of her, because she was in here by herself and badly out of position. So maybe if we kept track of her a little bit better, because we sort of, like, span around on the top, like, where'd she go? If we kept track of her, maybe we could have killed her, or at least dropped her low enough that these two people that could have died could have killed her. But we'll, of course, never know, because this happened in an alternate reality. But maybe, possibly. So, somebody just got nano boosted behind us. It's almost certainly Reinhardt. It is, in fact, Reinhardt. So, if I see a Reinhardt get nano boosted these days, and I'm playing Winston, this is a very rare circumstance that we're already in, because this implies that somebody's picked Reinhardt. I didn't also pick Reinhardt, and that I chose to pick Winston, and I also have Primal Rage. These are all very unlikely things to happen. So, this is very but if I'm playing Winston and a Reinhardt gets Primal Raged, what the fuck? A Reinhardt that got Primal Rage would be pretty spooky, to be fair, wouldn't it? But a Reinhardt that's nano boosted, I'm just gonna use Primal Rage and just punch him away from the team, because I don't want him slapping anyone. Granted, Reinhardt, fairly inconsistent nano boost target at the best of times, unless he's in, like, a really good situation. But I'm just not gonna take the chance at the same time, because if he does smack somebody, they're fucking dead. So I would just Primal Rage and start slapping this guy away from the team. Like, nope, just not gonna take the chance. I'm just not gonna let this guy do it. Generally, the plays I would recommend taking are the ones that are like, maybe you don't have to do it, but I find that it's better to do it than take the chance of not having to do it, because, like, the punishment for not doing it can be much more severe than just taking the opportunity to mitigate it. It's like, also advice, if you're playing like Zenyatta and you hear Dragon Blade or Barrage, just ult. Tact Visor also, just ult. Sometimes you don't need to ult, but if you don't ult in time, your entire team gets killed. So I say, even if it turns out you didn't need to use it, you're better off doing it anyway, because the punishment for not doing it is so extreme that it's better to just be safe, really. We also know in hindsight we might not have died to Barrage because we would have had 1,000 hit points instead of like 300, 400. But, I mean, we also aren't psychic, so we can't really use that information as a basis for doing that. Doesn't it feel so good that Winston now, when he's purple and Primal Rages, he actually recovers the 1,000 hit points? I had no idea that was a bug. When that showed up in the bug fixes one week, I was like, what the fuck? That wasn't working as intended? Because Winston would only recover 500 hit points. And I was like, it makes perfect sense if you think about it, because he heals 500 and then gains 500. Not the same thing. But then it was like, fixed a bug that was causing Winston to not recover full HP. I was like, what the fuck? Incredible. So doesn't it feel so good, man? So we ended up not winning the round. Well, we did win the round because they didn't get it all the way through the entire court. But they only got it halfway through the second checkpoint. So at this point, we're probably like, maybe we can do it. You know, things went a lot better than expected. Here's one of the really perplexing things, right? Like, I don't understand when people do certain things. This is one of them, right? This 4-stack of people are all playing DPS heroes. What is the point of making basically anything bigger than a 2-stack where you're all DPS players? If you're a 3-stack and you pick 3 DPS players, the other 3 people on your team are gonna go, what the fuck? And then they're very unlikely to work with you if you pick 3 DPS as the 3-stack. And then if you pick 4 DPS, what, are you just relying that you happen to find a tank player and a healer player? It's so stupid. I don't understand this. It's one of those things that I just don't understand. How none of these 4 people had the common sense to go, this is probably a bad idea. And then also, they pick like all the solo queue heroes, like Genji, Widowmaker, and Junkrat. Isn't it incredible? As if it wasn't bad enough that you're gonna see 4 people lock in DPS, you're gonna see a Junkrat and a Widowmaker. And then you're gonna see the Genji as well, and you're gonna be like, oh, okay, I see how it is, right? I just don't understand how some people can think some things are good ideas. Maybe I don't think it's a good idea, just not a bad idea. It's incredible. So, nice life through to as Hanzo, first thing climb back. Okay, cool, good story, bro. Probably actually bad at Hanzo is the moral of what I'm taking away here, but so we've immediately lost our Junkrat, which is neither here nor there, frankly, because we're attacking Gibraltar. Reinhardt has performed a very grievous error where he has decided to just jump down on the opposite side, and he's gonna die for it. Takes a while because it's just us and Soldier killing him, but he does indeed get punished for it. So this goes to show you how much of a mistake that maneuver is of just jumping straight into the pit right over there. Even though it was the slowest punish in the universe, you still got punished for it. That's how bad that is. Don't just jump straight in the pit. Same on Dorado. Don't jump right in front of the choke point. Just go back around the other side. So, things are not going that badly. Most of the enemy team is actually dead right now. Now it's actually just Winston over here, and he's got no healer anymore. No, wait, I lied to you. Lucio's over here as well. Lucio's dead now. And Winston died to scatter skill, so that's very unfortunate for him. Must feel bad. So now we're thinking to ourselves, great, it's all going well. We're gonna get to the first checkpoint. Reinhardt's up there. doing Lord only knows what. Like, but he is up there. God damn. So now they all actually reconvene. If you can believe it, it actually looks like the enemy team exercised some amount of common sense and actually waited for everybody before they came back out here. Because there were people that were alive, but they actually all came out as 6. Isn't that incredible? Is this teamwork? Unbelievable. Not in my Overwatch. So, we're tasing this soldier to death, but then Reinhardt just jumps down right next to us and pins us point blank into the payload. It happens. Unless you're clairvoyant, I don't think you really avoid that one, especially since we're bullying around the soldier at the time. Like, who's just gonna give it up? Because, so, like, you know. Sometimes you just get fucked out of nowhere, basically. Happens. So, we've got to wait for our team to regroup. We do have, Dragon Strike and, Dragon Blade, so that's cool. Gee, Hanzo, how come your Shimada heritage lets you have 2 dragons? Poor Genji. First, he almost gets murdered, and he only gets 1 dragon when Hanzo gets 2. There's no justice in the world. So we're waiting for this health kit to respawn right now because we still have no healer. At least we have the payload, right? Silver lining. Soldier's got biotic field. Oh. Sometimes people have tried to justify that to me. They're like, it's okay that I didn't pick a healer because I picked soldier instead. It's incredible. Just the other day also, it's incredible the things that you find out there in the world. Just the other day, I was playing with a friend, and we encountered somebody who claimed, in all seriousness, that Symmetra was a main healer because of her shield generator. Isn't that incredible? Man. The people you find out there, they're crazy, unbelievable. I could tell that Skype was about to beep because I saw somebody start typing. Oh, it's been a while since that one happened. Let's come over here, change that. Great, awesome, good stuff. Let's resume the game. So as you can see from the timeline at this point, we either recover amazingly or we lose the game. We lose the game. So, feels bad, man. Not exactly unsurprising. We come depressingly close, though, all things considered. So that probably felt really bad for Lucio, because, just tried to speed his way past it, and then it just so happened that was exactly where the dragons were coming. So they've lost both of their healers immediately, which is usually a pretty good sign that you're gonna win the fight. We're a little bit surprised by that one, because it did in fact look like we punched him. Like right there, the fact that that one didn't connect is quite surprising. So, unfortunately, even though we killed both of their healers, Soldier killed 3 people, Genji killed another person, and then we got pinned by this guy. So, even though we almost did it, Soldier's a hero, because he killed half of our team with 1 ultimate. Which is not exactly hard, because look at our team. But, Soldier's a hero, because they lost both their healers right at the start of the fight, which is usually a really, really bad sign. And you usually expect to lose that fight, but they actually got away with it. Isn't that incredible? So, we've only got a minute left. We've got 1, maybe 2 pushes left in us. Genji's just had the most staggered death in recorded history, so that's very upsetting. We almost got that Genji, but like, who fucking knew Genji was just hanging around there with like 2 hit points, right? So it was not surprising we didn't get that guy. So we got a little bit of a tase right there, just a little bit of a tweak from the other Winston, and then we went on our way. I didn't actually point it out at the time, but there was a point where like, on the first defense, where like, Roadhog was just like taking a breather in the middle of the tunnel, and we just, like, walked past him and then jumped up onto the high ground. The Roadhog must have been like, wow, I'm not even worth any of your time at all, Winston. I loved how much we disrespected that guy. Didn't point it out at the time. It was pretty funny, though. So, we're getting fucked right now.
30 seconds.
Oh yeah, my man, Oryx over here, right? So that's the Hanzo player. Right at the start of the game, he said loud, in the voice chat and everything, this team is complete AIDS. And then he remained on Hanzo for the rest of the game. If you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. But that's lost on Hanzo players. So anyway, he's like, well, GG. You know, he sees 4 DPS and decides he's going to continue playing DPS, so you know. If you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. So right now, it's kind of like, basically we're fucked. Because our team is just going in. You might notice that we've just watched 3 people go in one by one and just get killed. And look, that happened to Hanzo as well. There's nothing we can do. Our whole team just staggered themselves so fucking hard that we've got to come in here with Genji and Reaper. And that's it. And even though Genji had Dragon Blade, who knows, maybe. But no, half our team just like threw their lives away, and now we've had to come in uneven. Oh god, Soldier's using Tac Visor. We've got Primal Rage, but it's over. We know it's over. We know we're done. It's over. We've been dusted. It's finished. We got 32 hit points. Miraculously, we get this health kit, and we get back to touch it again. But we're fucked. We all know we're fucked. We're fucked. We got fucked. We came a lot closer than we had any right to. So, fucking people, man, lol, claims Orica's, as he report for griefing, yeah. You know. We've got some incredibly spirited banter happening right now. Of course, the enemy seems like your Hanzo was good. He was alright, you know. No, we just have eyes. We did more. You had no healers, you moron. Accurate information. You are dumber, infinitely. Right? He should have healed. Evidently. So now the 4 stack who are like performing an incredibly stupid maneuver are just gonna all sit there, just, you know, jerking off in the corner. Everybody just reach over one person and start jerking is what's happening over there. Good times. So we're fucked. You know, we got fucked. We got closer than we had any right to, but we still got fucked in the end. I don't think there's anything we do in this game as Winston, because, like, honestly, I watch it and I see no incredibly great opportunities. Maybe we kill the Pharah if we don't lose track of her, and maybe we don't lose 2 people, but, like, that still went fine anyway, so obviously that wouldn't have really affected the outcome of the game. So I don't feel like we do anything as Winston in this game. I feel like maybe we do more as D.Va, just because matchup-wise it's slightly better. But I feel like the best thing we could have done was change to a healer, but, you know, that was the question in the email, so, yeah. If your team picks 5 DPS, pick a healer. It's the only really decent option. It's not what you want to do. Don't get me wrong, you don't want to do it, I know. But it's the lesser of the evils, basically. So, I don't think we do anything in this game as Winston. I just don't think we had any opportunities to do so, really. So yeah, you know, sometimes you get fucked. And there's very little you can do about it. And we might have done something on the attack if our team wasn't also just really stupid. I mean, it happens. What can you do? Overwatch is a very depressing game. Someone says to me, you know, should I play Overwatch? It looks like fun. No, it's not fun. It's actually about suffering. So, thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm more than happy to answer. And I hope you found the video helpful. Or at least entertaining, if nothing else.